Hello, everyone. Thanks for listening to Wake Up, Look Up, a podcast where we connect events happening in real time to the gospel of Jesus Christ. I'm Zach Weihrauch. In today's episode, we're asking the question, can we fix our trust issues? This is prompted by a story that's been in the news recently, and then by an opinion piece about it I read in the Wall Street Journal. So if you haven't seen this, in the news lately have been stories of drone sightings, kind of all over the country. Inexplicable, unidentifiable, large aircrafts that are hovering in New England, in the Northeast, in New Jersey, and in California, among other places, typically hovering over military installations and key infrastructure sites. And that's caused, as you might imagine, a significant amount of alarm. You have the normal alien concerns, but then also foreign power concerns that, as one person posited, maybe a country like Iran is flying aircraft into American airspace and over American targets. It has caused quite the uproar. And it isn't just like one of those late night radio conspiracy things. Airports have been shut down. Elected officials in these areas have acknowledged seeing them and not knowing what is going on. There's a lot of reasonable people asking a lot of reasonable questions and getting no real answers in response. The United States government has basically refused to comment on them, sometimes saying, hey, a lot of this is explainable and it's normal aircraft and it's really nothing to be concerned about, but certainly not speaking to every instance. And the problem with that is that it gives room and rise to rumors and conspiracy theories of all sort as to what is going on. There's even one bizarre theory that the government is staging what looks like an alien invasion so that they can justify authoritarian control. And you might think that's crazy. I think that's crazy, but it's also the kind of thing that gets posited when no answers are being offered. It's also the kind of thing that people believe in a situation where the government over the last 10 years or so has kind of habitually lied to the American people and gotten caught. Remember the Chinese spy balloon, for example, which we were told was no big deal, but then was shot down over the Atlantic Ocean. Of course, we know now with COVID that some of the things we were hearing were true and some of them were exaggerations or opinion being presented as fact. There were the flights that were taking migrants from one city to another that was only confessed when discovered. The point is, you've got this thing where the government doesn't seem to think they owe any answers. Sometimes when they give answers, they're not truthful. And the result is that the public increasingly doesn't believe their leaders. And so when something happens that's inexplicable and potentially worrisome, like drones flying in the sky above us, we start to panic. This, as usual, is symptomatic of a larger problem. In our culture, we have a leadership crisis. And what I mean by that is increasingly we are skeptical and cynical of our leaders. And increasingly we have good reason to be that way. Look, I'm not saying the government owes me a full-throated explanation of what very well might be some kind of top secret thing they're doing. I understand the logic that the government has to engage in activities that they can't tell me everything that they're doing. But why not come out and say that? Why not come out and say, listen, we know about this. We know what's going on. It's nothing to worry about. Don't pretend people don't see what they don't see, because the government right now, its answer is there's nothing going on. But we know that there is. Look, if you're a leader listening to this, or you're evaluating leaders as you listen to this, you should think about this. Jesus said, the truth will set you free. And he meant that in just about every direction. Certainly, leaders don't owe all the truth all the time. There's a need for secrecy at times. There's a need for discretion at times. But for all of our leaders, there's like a trust meter. And certain activities build trust, and certain activities lose trust. Leaders should give the most full and complete answer they can give. They should value transparency and accountability. When possible, full explanation should be given. Because first, that shows leaders will do that. It builds trust among people that, hey, when possible, you will give us the answer. But second, it shows that when it isn't possible, there must be a good reason. This is where I think Christians can really shine as leaders, because Christians will be understanding that to needlessly obfuscate, to needlessly hide, creates cynicism and it creates dissension. That true collaboration in any environment, a church, a school, a company, a government, means honest and forthright transparency and accountability. I don't think that's too much to ask, and I don't think there's a way for us to be healthy as a country without it. The government should give us answers, even if the best answer is that it can't tell us everything. Hey, thanks so much for watching this episode of Wake Up, Look Up. While you're here, take a minute to like and subscribe. Really helps us get the word out. Don't hesitate to leave a review wherever you might find this podcast on an audio level and help spread the word. And hey, while you're here, check out all the other content we have at Christ Community Chapel on YouTube. Some of those videos are popping up on the screen now. Click on one.